Hi friends. Now I have the honor of introducing to you Dr. Shubham Sahni. We have seen him earlier in this channel before, a week before. He had a top 10 rank in AIMS also, and I want to welcome him back to DAMS studio with a rank 14 in the PGI Chandigarh exam, which is an awesome performance. Shubham, how are you feeling today?
Thank you, sir, for inviting me here. I'm feeling like I'm on the top of the world. After the AIMS result, I had almost decided that I don't have to give the PGI exam and it's all done for me. But then somehow I thought, Deepti ma'am told me, give it a try. There's no use not giving an exam. So then I gave it, and then achieving this rank, it's like unexpected at the same time, and it's like a good feeling because it adds to your thinking. Yes, you cracked PGI also. And at this point, I would like to thank the entire DAMS family, Dr. Sumer sir, Dr. Deepti ma'am, and the entire DAMS family, because it would not have been possible without them, seriously. And I would like to thank everyone who has made a difference in my life, my parents, my sister, and my UG college, AIMS Rishikesh, all the residents, faculty over there, my dear friends. Thank you all, and it would not have been possible without all of you.
Shubham, I also want to share with the listeners today that he has been a student of DAMS Sky Center. He joined us in DAMS Jolly Grant for Foundation and DAMS Rishikesh for the TNDs and test and discussion in the internship. And I want to share that he had to travel every day in his foundation years from the Rishikesh to Jolly Grant, which is quite a distance, and he has done that hard work. And I want to point out, and I want his comment also on this, that in today's world, you will see a lot of people will claim that you can do it easily, buy this photocopy thing, please download this free app, and a lot of free things and easy things will be talked about. But if you scroll back in this channel, you will see each one of the toppers in the AIMS November and the PGI exam has been working very hard. They've all, I think, Shubham would agree, he's met so many of them around giving interviews. They've all been like starting in third year, second years, and they've all worked very hard. So Shubham, what is your idea on it?
Sir, I would like to say that there is no shortcut to success. Seriously, matlab, there are multiple ways to achieve success, but no method is absolutely right or absolutely wrong. But what I would say, there's no shortcut to hard work, right? Like for example, I had to travel such a large distance every week or twice or thrice a week from my college to the dam center, and it was like sometimes it pinched me that yeah, I have to travel so much, I'm wasting upon the time. But now when I introspect and I see ki all that was worth it. Matlab, I think that I made a wise decision, although it was very hectic at that time. Now, when I was traveling back here, I traveled to that same path that I had traveled every day for going to dams while coming here, and I was like, all this is worth it, right? Matlab, you have to do hard work, and there's no shortcut to that, I guess.
वो जुनून भी चाहिए कि ना उस समय पे खींच दिया जुनून के साथ, and that is required,
and that keeps you going, because it's just like you have to just light the candle and the flame will brighten up your life.
How so beautifully put, actually, Shubham. And how was your experience with the classes in the foundation year? How was the experience with the classes, notes, interacting with the best faculty? You had the same classes which a student sitting in Delhi would have had, and how was the experience?
So the experience was quite good, and matlab, I had attended all the classes right from my third year, and I was revising the same stuff right after going to my home, and basically I was trying to build more of the concepts in the class itself, leaving lesser of the things towards my room or towards the hostel. And while going to the after I went to hostel, I was kind of adding it to the notes by using my standard textbooks or doing some MCQs and revising that same stuff again and again, so that it kind of consolidates in the formative years itself, so that when I enter internship or when I'm preparing afterwards, even though I have paucity of time, I know that already, but I still have something to munch on, something really delicious that is ready made for me, revised for me, so that I can use it as a ready reckoner during my preparation time.
Yeah, and there is a pattern that I want to make sure that a lot of third year students who are listening to us today, or second year students, sometimes you don't understand that why starting early helps. Now, if you look at his example, he started early, but he had that luxury of making notes in the classes, understanding. Then after the class, he had the time to look back at good quality books instead of going for shortcut guidebooks. He had to look at textbooks,
Right.
and he could
Absolutely.
enjoy learning, and all that could help him to have a ready material. When in internship he had less time, he could utilize
Yeah.
that. And there is a pattern in success, and you can see this pattern in all rankers. So I feel if you are a second year student or a third year student aspiring to be in the AIMS or aspiring to be the next Shubham Sahni, doing his PG from PGI Chandigarh or AIMS, you need to, also copy his hard work, also copy his intent. Don't just look at, sometimes people will ask him, I'm sure, people must be sending you message, what book to read, give me your
Right.
notebook.
Huh.
Even if you take his notebook, you can't take
You
his hard
can't.
work. You
Yeah.
have to, redo it.
Right.
That is the, secret, that, we wanted to bring
You
through
have
this.
to, I guess I would like to add that you have to add your extra edge to it.
Yes.
Everyone who's preparing for competitive exams has the same material. Obviously, something is better, so you have to choose wisely. But at the same time, you have to realize you have to add your extra edge to that. And that extra edge will take you far. Otherwise, everyone would have got the same rank. If everyone is preparing the same thing, everyone should get rank 14 or rank 10 or rank 1. But there is only one spot, na? So for that, you have to add your extra edge to it.
That would have that hard work, passion,
Right.
drive, everything has to be added. Now, Shubham, although we have your interview with us already in this channel, now today I want to ask you about the PGI exam. Like, PGI is an exam which is different from the AIMS exam. So after the AIMS exam, you had a week odd for PGI exam. How did you utilize that week?
Okay. So after the AIMS exam, I was in a kind of fix key, do I have to give the PGI exam or not, even though the result had not come, because I was pretty sure that I'll get something in AIMS, but I was not like, there is something in the mind, ki, what if this does not go right? So I kind of was in a fix in that. But then I took the advice of my faculty and parents, and they said that you should never miss any exam, right? Every exam gives another opportunity. If you are maybe lost in one, then definitely you will have time to cover up and improve upon your mistakes in the next one. So first thing, never miss any opportunity for any exam. So then I started preparing for the PGI exam. So I had like 2 weeks before the PGI exam. So in the first 1 week, I was like going through all the previous year question papers. See, PGI is a very different kind of exam. Herein it tests more of your theoretical aspect as compared to what you might have seen in the AIMS exam if you would have given. It's more practical. So for theory intensive exams, I guess munching on that information just 1 week or 2 weeks before the exam is absolutely essential, because it's human tendency to forget, right? So what I did was I basically went through all the previous year question papers, and I also watched the previous year videos, PGI discussion videos that were there on the eMedicos app, and they were really useful, because again, if someone tells you something, you tend to remember it more as compared to what you read it, just from a book or something. So that way the videos really help, and I guess that's a really good initiative by DAMS. So I basically I was doing it subject wise. Like for example, I had decided that today I have to do ophthalmology and ENT. So I would do all the previous year MCQs of PGI Chandigarh only in that one day of ophthalmology. Say I'm starting with ophthalmology, and then I would take a piece of paper simultaneously and write all the topics that were important or which have been asked once or twice or thrice in the PGI exam. So for example, if pterygium has been asked or uveitis has been asked, you write it on a piece of paper. Then when you're done with all the question papers, say from 2016 session, you have to start your own thing. You have to now start to revise those things from your notes itself. Don't go anywhere else. Just revise it from your notes and keep on ticking. Like for example, you have read pterygium in 4 or 5 odd minutes, tick it, cross it. Then move on to the next topic, then move on to the next topic. And by this way, you will not be only targeting the previous year MCQs, but also the potential repeats that might come. And that really helps, and it helped me in the exam because I could predict that this might come, and that came. So that continued for like around 1 week. And then the AIMS result came, and I could not really concentrate much after that. But still, I tried little bit. And I guess this is the perfect strategy during those 2 weeks. Concentrate on the previous year. First of all, realize that you have to give the exam with your best effort. Second of all, do the previous year MCQs, do the topics, because topics, again, I'll re-emphasize, are the most important rather than the MCQs per se. So do those topics, And then during the last 1 or 2 odd days, you can watch the AIMS capsule, because that also helps in PGI. Definitely, you can watch the DVT if you want, as because it gives you confidence. Even if questions do not come right from there, it gives you confidence that you have revised the subject just before the exam. So if it comes, it's your good luck. If it does not come, you have the confidence, because confidence is most important. And then give PGI exam with your best effort, right? Give it with a very cool frame of mind, right? I would like to add here the PGI exam taking strategy
Yeah,
also. See, this time, from this time onwards, PGI exam was an online exam, as in computer based tests. Till last time, it was offline. So the advantage which I found in the computer based exam was that you get ample amount of time, right? If you have to mark those, if you have to attempt a question, then mark it on a piece of paper. You need to be 100% sure that I'm marking it. Yes, I'm going to mark it straight away. In the computer, and you need time to circle those OMR sheets, so that wastes time. Whereas in the computer based exam, you can click it, unclick it, and you can be sure, unsure, sure, unsure. But ultimately, it's like, you have to go with your gut feeling. First thing is that. And this time management, I guess, was not much of a problem,
Yes.
because of the computer based exam. I was pretty much able to complete the paper in the stipulated time, and I was even able to revise some of the MCQs that I had marked. But again, if you are like a slow solver of MCQs, try to do away with that MCQ at that place only. Don't leave it for the end, because in PGI you might as well not get time at the end. So do the question there itself. Don't mark it that I'll think about it again, because that again time is never going to come in PGI if you are solving it slowly. And I guess that way I was solving the paper, and yeah, that pretty much.
Yeah, I totally agree. A lot of things that he has said are very, very utility. If you notice, it is he has given in a nutshell the entire strategy required for PGI exam. You have to understand that when you will be giving your exam, you will be first targeting AIMS, because the AIMS will come chronologically as the first exam that happens. And you have to utilize the time between the AIMS exam and the PGI exam to revise and relook the topics that are important for PGI. And it is a good idea that on eMedicos there are video solutions of previous AIMS, PGI and JIPMER exam. You can just go through the video, listen to the teachers, and his idea is very beautiful. Just scribble the topics, and those topics you read from your notes again. It is very important in both AIMS and PGI. The question may not be repeated same, but the topics are usually repeated. It is always a very beautiful strategy that he has used for the last week. So that is why I wanted to highlight how to utilize the last week. Second is how to utilize the exam. Like, how many did you attempt? Like, the time concern was not there with the CBT being in place, and you can look back and see all rankers in PGI have felt the same thing, that in the last PGI time was a big concern. This time it was more easy, because you just had to click
it.
yeah, and there is no frame shift mutation, nothing of that sort happening. So you are not bothered about that, am I marking the right answer or not. So that helps in the time management. What about the number of questions that you attempted? Like, out of the 1250 decision points, how many did you mark in the exam?
Sir, I guess I roughly marked around 610 to 650, something in between. I did not count the exact number, but I guess it was that much only. And they were the ones that I attempted. And I guess one thing very important to understand here is that you cannot aim to ace an exam unless and until you take some kind of risks, right? This holds true for AIMS, PGI, and definitely for NEET, because most of the times, if you like this, you will realize after giving some mocks. I gave a PGI mock and I realized ki I had matlab, if I attempt more, I'll get a better rank. So again, you have to play safe, because in PGI there's +1 -1 roughly. So at the same time, you have to balance in your mind, but you have to take some risks. If you don't know about a topic at all, just leave it, right? No one would have been able to solve it. But if you know something about the topic, try to mark at least 1 or 2 options if you're pretty sure, and leave the rest ones, because ultimately it will add up to your score, and ultimately the total score is what will matter. So it will not matter how much questions you have attempted, or the total score, the positive score that you have, that will really help. So try to take, my advice would be, try to take a little bit of risks also in PJ. That will really help your final score.
If I put it in 2 words, it would be controlled aggression.
Controlled aggression.
You need to be aggressive, but you don't need to be foolhardy in an exam like PJ.
Absolutely.
You don't know anything. So if there is a line where you have no idea about it, please leave it. You end up getting a negative. So, but if you feel it is right, it is better to go for it. And you have to use that educated guess, all that formula of MCQs. You have to to
You
utilize them
have
in
to
PGI
utilize.
as well.
And that you will get only after you solve a couple bit of MCQs or solve some mocks, because that there's no one way to get that controlled aggression thing.
Yeah.
It is all a process that is built up over a period of 1 or 2 or whatever years that you put in. So that way it will help.
So how useful were the TND to develop that exam skill, the grant test and the CBT that you appeared for? How useful they were to help you to develop the exam skill?
So I guess before my internship year, I was like thorough with most of the topics. I was confident that I know all these things. But when I came to my internship year and started attending the test and discussions and giving some GTs, I realized that there is something more to it other than the knowledge. You have to really know the art of MCQ solving. So that came, I guess, in me through the process of test and discussion. It might come through to you through some other method, GTs, mocks. So, but it came to me through test and discussions. I was like, for example, I used to try to complete the TND before the stipulated time itself, so that in the final exam, if I have to even think more about an MCQ, because in final exam you can't just go ahead, you have to think about it. I still have that thing in mind that I have that ability of MCQ solving within the time frame, because time management is very important in any exam. So TNDs or mocks or GTs will help you in the time management. At the same time, they will help you in knowing the topics, as you say. So, like for example, if say Terigem was important, it was not that I didn't know that Terigem is important before the exam. Just before the PhD exam, I got to know this. No, it was not something new. I gave the test and discussions, I gave mocks, questions were there on that, so I knew already this is important. That was why I was able to complete Terigem topic within 5 minutes just before the PGI exam. So that way, it's an entire process. And TNDs play a very important role in that, because they ultimately, you will realize it will add up to your score, and over time when you will plot a graph, now you will see you are going much ahead, and it will be a kind of a good positive slope curve. So and also the mock tests and the GTs, so they also help you in the time management thing and also the topics thing. So they are very important. Don't do it from the first day of your preparation. I made it a mistake that I gave very few GTs, but you should not make that mistake. Try giving it much earlier in your preparation.
And how useful was the eMedicos app and the resources that we have on it, like the emergency medicine capsule, the AIMS capsule, the infectious disease capsule? How useful was the eMedicos app for you?
They were really helpful. See, I was stuck on microbiology. I could not do it. I did not have time to do microbiology, and I was like, this is such an important subject. How will I be able to do it? So again, the same thing happened, which happens with most of you. I ran to one source. No, I'll not be able to complete it. Ran to some other source. Ran to even a guidebook for some time. Ended up realizing it's not physically possible in that time, whichever I had, to complete this larger subject. Ultimately, I saw a post on the DAMS club that there's a DAMS infectious disease capsule, a gift for DAMSonians. I realized let's give it a try. I watched one video. I was like really fascinated the way how clinically it was presented. It's not that rote microbiology thing that you have. You develop interest in that. I ended up watching all the videos, revised it twice, and you'll not believe it, that was my go-to source for microbiology just before both the exams, AIMS as well as PGI, and I guess I fared pretty well in microbiology because of that. So that was really helpful. I'm thankful to Dr. Mamta Java for that. And the emergency medicine thing and the AIMS capsule, these are two things that you cannot at all afford to miss before the AIMS exam, right? And even for PGI, it's the AIMS capsule, it will help definitely. It's not that PGI is not that clinical, but these days I'm kind of realizing and analyzing that they are also shifting towards the clinical side. Like for example, this time there was a question on retinoscopy, that if against the rule, or those kind of questions. So those you will realize only once you visit the clinics if you have done retinoscopy. So I was in blackened out कि what was that, मैं तो भूल गया कि रेटिनोस्कोपी में against movement किस में होता है, with किस में होता है. Then I closed my eyes and I remembered that I had done retinoscopy of one of my friend who was myopic, and it was going that way. So that way I kind of figured out, and that way I was able to solve that question. So PGI also, I guess, is shifting towards the clinicals. So clinics play a very important role in that also. And the AIMS capsule is also a really nice source, especially for the AIMS exam. I just absolutely love it. I think from the past, जब से result आया, I have emphasized about AIMS capsule to like around 100 or 200 people कि it's very important, and you'll realize that it's very important after giving the exam, and it's never too late. Better do it now than regret it later, right? It's very, very crucial to do AIMS capsule. It'll give you an edge over the others. And I guess the e-medicos is a good source if you know how to use it properly. If you just go ahead and watch the videos and कि आज बैठ के video देखते हैं, तो it will not help. You have to realize that you have to revise it also, and that way it will really help and reflect in your scores in the final exam also.
And on eMedicals now we also have the practical courses also. Like we have a course for ophthalmology, surgery already live, where we have all this things like retinoscopy, slit lamp, all this demonstrated live on patients, so that there could be students in periphery who are not actually exposed to so many procedures in the clinic. So we have that resource ready for you. Even the thyroid clinical examination is now available on eMedicals in the surgery part. We are working on the medicine part, and soon we will also have, Dr. Arvind has personally worked on how to look at the clinics in medicine. Each section has been now created. Soon it will be
Dr.
live.
Arvind is love, sir. His notes are absolutely amazing. Matlab, I could never realize that medicine could be taught in such a interesting and comprehensive manner. He's like, love.
So now, when you now look back after these two ranks, and when you look back and you see, do you think that DAMS provides that entire hybrid where you have some resources on the app, some test and discussion going on, a classroom program, and at different stages of your career, you needed different resources to found them. So, are you happy with the entire 360-degree program that we have?
Yes, sir. I'm absolutely happy and absolutely contented. If you would have asked this question to me even before my ranks, my answer would have remained the same. Because ultimately, it's like you have to know how to use the DAMS resources, in a very good manner that it will help you. Say, if you say that I'll go ahead and join TND in my second year or first year, it's not a good idea, right? You should know how to go about. I would say DAMS is not just an institute, it's a process. That first you do foundation, then you do your test and discussion, then towards the end of the time you give GTs, then there's a mock coming up right before the exam, you do that. So the entire process will help you evolve more as a clinician also and as a good MCQ solver also. So I guess that way now I'm absolutely happy with what I joined and what I did.
I also want to know, Shubham, from you, like today, when you are telling me that, when you had to travel for classes at that time, now that we have a center in Rishikesh also, but at that time you had to travel. So, were there any moments in between where you thought, yaar, give up karte hain, nahi ho paega, and, and how did you manage those moments? How could you manage your mindset? Because success has three components, I believe, that MCQ skill, the content, the theory, the concept that we talked about. But we also need that mindset. The ability to continue despite the odds. So how did you manage? What did you tell yourself at those days?
I actually remember one incident because we used to like travel on scooty or bikes to DAMS class, and sometimes it used to rain in between. And there was one particular class, it was medicine class, I guess, and it started raining heavily, and my friend and we got absolutely wet during that time. And I felt so bad कि I have to travel to such a far place, and then I'm getting wet, and then I have to go back again and then do some homework for next class or whatever. You will feel low many a times, but I guess the key to success is not to focus on the obstacles but to focus on your goal. Because if you have a goal in mind, no matter what obstacle comes, you will know that if I have to reach there, I have to reach there, right? There will be obstacles, and trust me, if obstacles are coming, you are traveling the right path. If there is no obstacle coming your way, I'm sorry, your path is wrong, because you have to take the road not taken. If you take the road that is traveled by everyone, then what will be the difference between maybe a rank 1 and someone who has not even qualified the examination? So I guess that way you should try to motivate yourself, focus more on the goals. Maybe paste a picture of AIMS or PGI or any college of your choice in your room, and then try thinking about it that one day I'll be there. Like right from the first day when I joined MBBS, I had this in mind that I have to enter one of the central institutes, right? It was not a choice for me. I guess it was a mandate for me that I have to do it, so I have to do it. So that kept me moving through my formative years as well as during internship. And right now also, I guess it's all worth it, because when you will be there at my place and any topper's place sitting over here, and you will think about everything right from my first year to fifth year, everything will make sense. So just try to imagine yourself sitting next to Sumedh sir or Deepthi ma'am giving an interview like say maybe some months after your preparation when you're done with the exam, and that will definitely keep you going. There are multiple ways to motivate yourself. One of them would be like watching some motivational videos, like Sumer sir's videos somehow happened to come at that time only whenever I used to feel low. So try to keep yourself motivated, because unless and until you keep yourself motivated, you will not be able to like ace the exam. It is very important to stay motivated and stay focused on your path. And and it's not bad to enjoy also in between, right? Like I used to, I would not say I used to travel a lot and hang out a lot. I used to travel decently also. I used to hang out decently also. I used to go every week to some place to eat or watch movies also. So it's not that it's you have to become a total returuta and get into the entire bookish thing and do all those things. You have your life, but at the same time you know that for you to maintain that life later on also, you need to do something now so that this thing goes on, and ultimately you will be seen in AIMS or PGI doing your post graduation, and that will all be worth it.
I think it's actually beautifully put. He's actually given you the entire summary of how to go about things, how to balance things, and how to, have that, goal in mind, but you have that long-term planning in mind so that you don't get burned out, that without, in the third year itself you're burned. You have to balance it. But he has shown you the way that if you feel that this is the class that I have to attend, these are the best, so you might have to push a little bit, but in the end, when you look back, now that he looks back, he feels that everything is now connected. All his decisions are, probably made with serendipity, but now they all feel right now.
It all feels right, and it feels worth, because at the end of the day, if you feel ki I all this was not worth it, then what was the use of doing it at the first place? तब कुछ और ही कर लेते. But when you will be here now, you will realize कि it was all worth it, and you'll enjoy the feeling.
Any particular teachers that come to your mind today?
All teachers, so especially Dr. Deepti ma'am and Dr. Sumer sir. I guess they're the best faculty that you could get. Matlab, like radiology is one subject which is not that much focused during UG teaching, and especially in PGI, wherein radiology and radiotherapy are so important. You need to have a ready to go notes which you understand also, because it tends to become very difficult to understand those things at your UG level. So that way Sumer sir's notes were really, really nice. And I remember that whenever I used to say read medicine or something, and there was some x-ray or some CT picture in Harrison or any book, and I used to think I don't know this, I used to open Sumer sir's notes, open that DAMS image book, and used to read it from there itself. So it was prepared. So and Dr. Deepti ma'am, she's love. And Dr. Arvind sir and Dr. Siddharth sir for PSM, he's also fab. And Dr. Sandeep sir for pediatrics, and especially his videos for PGI examination, the motivation videos and everything, and the strategy videos. I guess I followed his advice up to 90 to 95%, and that's why I could get this rank. So Dr. Sandeep sir is, you have to follow his advice for PGI. He knows what he's saying, and trust me, you will also understand it later on. And there are many teachers. Everyone, DAMS faculty really played a very important role, and I'm privileged to be sitting here. I also imagine myself give this interview one day, and I'm here sitting next to sir, few days back next to ma'am, and it's a good feeling.
And any final words of motivation for the future aspirant? Like when you were imagining your interview in the past, that okay, one day I'll come and tell, what line did you want to say? And maybe you can say that today.
I am really moved by the line by Dr. Tushar sir, and that's what keeps me going. That whenever I used to feel low or feel this obstacle is coming, and I used to feel I'm not worth it, I used to feel I'm forgetting everything, just remember your goals don't care how you feel. Right, you might be feeling any kind of thing, but at the end of the day, if you have to achieve that goal, just shrug off that feeling off your shoulder and concentrate on your goal. Those obstacles are coming for a reason. They will make you a better clinician, better doctor. Trust me, life as a doctor is not easy, that I might realize later on. And those obstacles will definitely make you better capable and more capable of handling them later on also. Now these might seem to be very big words coming out of my mouth, but I guess you'll realize it once you reach this position, and later on also. So it's all worth it. I would like to end, it's all worth it. Just give it a try. Don't think I'm not able to do this, not able to do that, I'm missing out. There's a FOMO thing, a fear of missing out. Doesn't matter, right? You will realize it at the end. It's all worth it.
Stay positive, keep working hard. At the end, you will see it's all worth it. Shubham, and my final question is that what branch are now you looking forward to take?
Sir, I'll take MD medicine.
So I wish you all the best that you get the branch of your choice in the place of your choice. And I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate you and to convey my congratulations to your parents, family,
Thank you,
everybody
sir.
at home, all your
Thank you,
friends.
sir.
It's an awesome, awesome achievement. Heartiest
Thank you,
congratulations.
sir.
Congratulations.